should go and break the news to Fiona.
What's the story with her? She rang while you were in with James Shepherd. Charlie told me to put her off.
She's been causing a lot of tension.
Would have thought he'd been past caring.
The poor man is dead. Show a little respect.
How good a friend was he? The closer you were, the more we stand to get. Oh, what the hell was that for?
What do you want?
I know how you feel, Fiona, but I had nowhere else to go.
What about your friends?
I've broken up with Wayne. I spent the last 2 nights sleeping in the car.
Oh, I see.
I wouldn't have come, but I haven't got any money left.
How serious is it with Wayne?
Very. Fiona, I don't know how I feel about him anymore. But I do know I tried to stop those men from bulldozing your property.
Oh, it's better we don't discuss that. You can use my bathroom to clean yourself up. You know where the towels are?
Would you like me to get you something? Cup of coffee? Drink?
No, thank you.
Must have been pretty terrible. I know it's no consolation, but at least you can say you did the right thing. I've never been through anything like that. I think I know how it'd feel, losing a friend.
He was more than a friend. No one will really know what a good man he was.
Why don't you go and have a lie down? I can take care of whatever else has to be done.
There's something I've been putting off. I have to do it.
You must have known it was coming. Why didn't you call me?
It was so sudden. With the little time I had, I was more concerned about his comfort.
When I called to see how he was, Wayne didn't even hint the end was near.
We didn't know. As I said, it was much sooner than we expected.
Convenient for you, isn't it? He never did find out what you're really like.
I suggest we attempt to conduct ourselves in as dignified a manner as possible until the funeral's over. Then we need never see each other again.
Fine by me.
Good. I have to go. There's a meeting between the managing director of James's company and the undertaker. He's organizing the funeral service in Melbourne. I'll keep in touch.
I thought I heard voices.
Patricia Hamilton. A very good friend of ours has died. I have to go down to Melbourne for the funeral. You might as well use the bed sit while I'm away.
Thanks.
I'll go and tell Bunty and Phil I'll be away for a few days.
Oh, would you mind if I use the phone?
No.
I put Mr. Shepherd's personal effects in the car. The medical equipment will be taken away later.
Excuse me. Hello?
John?
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm rotten. I don't know what to do.
Jill, I'm sorry. Can I call you back somewhere? Things are a bit crazy here at the moment.
Oh, I'm back at the bed sit for a while.
I'll call, promise.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Mason.
Well, that's all right. You should have taken your call. I have to go. Anyway, I have an appointment with your mother and the undertaker.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you for yours. Miss Armstrong?
Bye, Mr. Mason. At last, I've got you all to myself.
It's been hectic. I don't understand what he was doing here, though.
Oh, getting Mr. Shepherd's things, wasn't he?
He's my managing director. What's his connection with James Shepherd?
How should I know?
Your contacts got me the job with the company in the first place. Had you ever heard of the old man mentioned?
No, not really.
Are you sure you've told me everything?
Well, not really. I wasn't exactly your contact. Your mother was. Oh, don't get mad, John. I went along with her because we both wanted to see you do well, that's all. Don't look at me like that.
Sydney is playing the Rich List. Films featuring Robin Williams.
I hit him pretty hard to defend myself. And the next thing I knew, I was up on a charge of malicious wounding.
A bit like Bill.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I'm sorry I didn't tell you everything. It's just that I wanted to get back to a normal life as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I reckon Mum's right. I mean, Bill really only got into trouble because of an accident. You're not that much different.
No. The only difference was, when I agreed to help my partner out, I was aware I was committing a crime. Mark you, at the time, it didn't seem all that serious. I mean, fiddling a few figures, you kid yourself, it's not all that wrong.
Still fraud, though.
Yeah, sure. I'm not denying what I did was wrong, but I paid for it. All I want to do is get on with my life.
Well, that's all right by me. You don't mind me going ahead with the story, do you?
No. Of course not. And I don't mind talking about anything you want to know. Is that okay by you, Mrs. Palmer?
As you said, you've paid for what you did.
Thanks.
All right with you, Lynn?
Yeah.
You won't give him a go, will you?
Oh, what have I done now?
No wonder he went off on his own. The way you ignored him when we left Mum's.
Gives me the creeps.
He explained. I thought you'd be happy about him now.
I'm sorry. I can't believe a word he says. I'm surprised your mum fell for it too.
It's only 'cause she's fair. I bet you got really excited when you thought you had something on him.
Oh, I did not.
He's done his time. He deserves a break.
I know, and normally I'd agree with you. But I just can't trust him, Kevin. You wait. He's going to mean trouble for all of us. I only hope you wake up to him before it's too late.
I wanted to talk to you while John was out.
Charlie's making some coffee. Would you like some?
No, thanks.
What's the problem?
Hasn't John said anything?
Is this 20 questions?
Sorry, obviously he hasn't. I had to tell him about how he got the job. I couldn't get out of it. It was when Mr. Mason was here. He got suspicious. John.
As he hasn't said anything to me, I assume he's realized it's not important.
He did say he wouldn't bring it up while you're upset.
It was silly to think he wouldn't work it out sooner or later anyway.
I had to tell him. I thought it was only fair I didn't get all the blame. Here we are.
Yes, well, not much point in talking about it, is there? We'll just have to hope that his pride doesn't make him do anything foolish, like resigning on principle. That'd be a waste of both our efforts, wouldn't it?
There you are, Mr. Mason.
Thank you, Mrs. Thompson.
Now, what can I do for you?
I've been handling all Mr. Shepherd's funeral arrangements, and I'm sorry to call you so late, but I wanted to be sure of catching you.
I know you're managing director of one of James' companies, but I don't see why you should need to see me.
Well, Mr. Shepherd was always most concerned about you, and, well, I thought it was only right that I should provide you with a flight to Melbourne for the funeral.
Oh. Well, I had made arrangements, but... Oh, thank you very much.
It's an open return, so you may stay on if you wish after the reading of the will.
Oh, I didn't think I was expected to stay for that.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Thompson. It's most important.
For heaven's sake, calm down.
If he tosses in this job, he's just as likely to go off on his own or back to Melbourne. Just when things are going so well.
You said yourself earlier that it was only a matter of time before he found out.
I know, but I hadn't counted on Prue blowing it quite so soon. Fingers crossed.
Hi. I'm going upstairs to pack.
Pack?
I have to go to Melbourne to meet the staff and to go to James Shepherd's funeral with the other company people.
I think I'll leave you both to it.
Thanks.
You'll want them to win.
That's so amazing.
You'll feel their every pain.
My grandma would say,
You're
deal.
absolutely right.
You're absolutely right.
As
what Prue told me, I wasn't very impressed. But I didn't want to raise it with you because of Mr. Shepherd. I'd like to know now, though.
You didn't get the job because of me. You got the interview because of me. But if you'd failed that, you wouldn't have got to first base.
Okay, I got in. But I've done pretty well pretty quickly.
There's one thing that you couldn't possibly know about James in the short time you knew him. He was a dear, kind man, but he was above all a businessman. He gave strict instructions that you were to be given no special treatment. But if you showed promise, you were to be given the opportunity to realize that promise.
How many times have I told you I don't want you interfering?
What's wrong with a helping hand?
I didn't ask for it. How can I know how much of where I get is from you and how much is from me?
Hal Mason is the managing director of the company. He's not about to put his reputation on the line by supporting you to please me. The feeling is that you could have a very good future in the company. Do you think they're sending you down to Melbourne to meet the staff just for fun?
No, I suppose not.
Of course not. If it was jobs for the boys, they'd have given you something where you couldn't do any harm. Despite what you may think about big business, you do have to earn your money.
I have to admit I like it. And the money. And I do earn it. Suppose I should apologize. It's been pretty difficult for me. Adjusting, you know what I mean? That was the way I was brought up. Not that I'm knocking it. It's been pretty good, seeing how the other half lives.
But you're part of the other half now.
I'd like to think I was a bit of both. It's the only way you really learn, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it is. Thank you for finally taking it so well. I was only trying to help. It's all I've ever done. I do need you, John. This afternoon, when you understood how I felt, I was very grateful to have you with me.
I reckon sons are closer to their mothers.
Yes, they do. That you, David?
Yes, love.
Did you eat?
I had something in Bendigo before I left. What's that a night of?
Oh, I've got a splitting headache, that's all.
Not something you should see the doctor about.
No, it's just a straight-out headache. Had a bit of a strain this afternoon.
Huh?
It's Noel again.
What about him?
Look, I can't stand it any longer. Do you want me to do it for you?
You're not much better than me.
No, but at least I've had typing classes.
Thanks. I'll go. If you come around here to carry on about Noel, you can leave right now.
Not in your life. I mean, you know, it's about time you got your priorities right. You're prepared to let an ex-crim who was in for a violent crime live in the house with your wife. A wife is scared of the bloke anyway.
He's paid for what he did. You're just trying to twist things your own way, make us do what you want.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
No, you and Lynn's dad would make a great pair. Everyone has to agree with you or they're wrong.
Music.
Escape.
Needle.
Morphine. Sorry. I'm not supposed to say that, am I?
All Saints, Tuesday.
Yes. Not doing too much, I hope.
No, I'm okay.
Where's, Noel?
Out.
Does he know about last night, David?
No, Kevin didn't say anything.
How's Kevin behaving?
Oh, he's a bit funny when he left this morning. He'll stick up for Noel for sure now that Mr. Palmer's against him. I have to be careful, otherwise it looks like I'm siding with his dad.
I've been wondering whether you've been taking those newspaper reports too seriously. Us pregnant ladies do tend to take things too seriously sometimes.
Us? You mean... Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm pleased you think so, love.
Oh, how do you feel about it?
Oh, absolutely thrilled.
Oh, I don't believe it.
We found out a couple of weeks ago. I didn't want to say anything because I haven't been too well. Everything is going to be fine. Do you realise that it's going to be an aunt or an uncle to your baby and be younger?
But how does Mr. Palmer feel about it?
Oh, he's thrilled. We didn't plan it, but I think it's the best thing that could have happened for us.
Oh, I'm really pleased for you. I bet everyone will be.
Thank you, Mr. Mason, but I've already made my arrangements.
In that case, if you just bill the company, and you will stay at the house.
That's very generous, thank you.
Well, both you and Mrs. Thompson were so good to Mr. Shepherd over the last days, it's the least we can do. You are aware that you'll be required to stay for the reading of the will?
From something James said, I imagine so, yes.
Good. Well, I won't keep you. If I can be of any help, don't hesitate to contact me.
I won't. Will James's grandson be at the funeral?
Apparently not.
It's unusual.
Oh, he's an unusual boy. Well, a bit of a mystery all round. Mr. Shepherd rarely discussed him over the last years.
Have you met him?
Once, about 4 years ago. Well, he seemed a fairly ordinary young man, but I got the impression he'd gone off the rails a few years ago.
James said he was wandering around America.
Finding himself, I think.
No wonder he was so worried about him.
He talked to you about it, did he?
Yes. I got the impression that he was concerned about Paul's ability to handle his inheritance.
Which will be considerable, to say the least. Well, the sooner he surfaces, the sooner I can help him come to terms with it. Well, as managing director, I imagine I'll have a large role to play. I only hope I can help the boy.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
And you think James has set you and Fiona up to protect his grandson's interests? Wonderful, darling. He must have left you something then as an incentive.
Will it be enough? To keep us solvent?
Oh, better than nothing. Don't know what you're looking so worried about.
James was shrewd. I get the feeling that whatever is in his will is going to mean my troubles with Fiona are just beginning. Love is very
It's addictive. There are no limits, and it's as easy as putting things on a list. The more you can list, the more you can win. Join me, Andrew O'Keefe, The Rich List, 7:30 tonight on 7.
Then a backstabber, a kinky war, and a killer clue to who murdered Monique. See it all on Desperate Housewives tonight at 8:30. Laugh along with 8 Simple Rules next.
Inside.